I'm Tom Baker, and today is a massive day for BMW because today is the day BMW replaces the X5. This is the new 5th generation X5, and it is the most changed out of any of the X5 models that came before. It replaces the 4th gen car, which has been well liked and has been on sale since 2018. Executives at BMW know just how respected the current X5 is, and they really struggled with the question of how to replace a car that internally they think is still pretty much perfect and the benchmark of the large luxury SUV segment. Well, this is the result. It adopts Neue Klasse design language cues from the smaller iX3 and from the i3 sedan, but the X5 and the new iX5 is really its own car. You can see the design language moving forward compared to an iX3 with this very blocky, very monolithic styling outside, but with a few more familiar cues inside. That's where we're going first up. Afterwards, I'll show you the back seat and the boot, discuss the powertrains and what's lurking under the skin of the X5, and then I'll give you my verdict. But before we get started, hit subscribe below.
Chasing cars, honest reviews of your next car.
Brought to you by Jumping up into the new X5 starts with a feature taken from the 7 Series. Foot on the brake, the door closes. Electric doors are now an option in the X5. They're not mandatory, you don't have to have them if you don't want them, but it is a nice feature. You will have already noticed though, the winglet style door opening piece on the doors, that is standard. And it was apparently built into the design from very early in the piece in order to really make those doors look blocky and monolithic. Do you like it? Let me know down below in the comments. But we're now here to look at the cabin of the X5, which could scarcely be more different than the 4th generation version of this car. As expected, the X5 picks up the Neue Klasse dashboard, already debuted in the iX3 and the i3. Here it is scaled up a little bit. Material quality and tactility goes up because of course the X5 is a higher class vehicle than an X3 or a 3 Series. And we also see something new, which is the optional availability of a passenger screen, a feature that I know is not particularly popular among our noble commenters. But the good thing is that if you don't option the passenger screen in the X5, BMW doesn't do an Audi and just give you an ugly piece of piano black plastic. Instead, this entire thing disappears and is replaced with properly finished dashboard trim, whatever you've chosen to be here. It is properly finished off, not a cheap looking afterthought. Well done, BMW. The rest of the technology is something to learn. If you're already coming from a BMW, this interface will be a little different. It's called BMW Operating System 10. It is powered by a much faster computer behind the scenes, and in fact new zonal electrical architecture. If you're into your car chassis design, that will mean something to you. It's cool. You can see that response times on screen are pretty slick. It's quick and easy to operate from the driver's seat, and you have this very wide pillar-to-pillar panoramic vision display up top, which I was initially cynical about, but is actually remarkably easy to customize with your own widgets and can be seen clearly when you're driving the car. You also have haptic controls here on this very unusual, very avant-garde steering wheel. I'm personally not a huge fan of haptics, but BMW says it's going in the right direction because it wants to be able to customize these buttons in future. I guess we'll see. One frustration is that even though we still have physical stalks for indicators and wipers and things like a volume roller surrounded by slate instead of wood for the X5, we don't have easy manual controls to change the direction of the airflow. Why car makers continue to think this is a good idea is beyond me. Some other nice touches though. Little magnetic ring down here for the wireless charger means that finally your phone doesn't just fly around in the corners. I love that. Big cup holders, USB-C charging, lots of storage throughout the doors, and honestly, material quality and tactility is pretty good, but I'd be hoping to see BMW offer a fully stitched leather dashboard that goes beyond this squidgy plastic option. On the whole though, I like the front, the seats are comfortable, and it feels pretty high-end. Let's check out row 2. Moving to the back seat of the X5 now, passenger space is benefited by the fact that there's been a bit of a stretch in the wheelbase of the X5 in order to fit the battery of the iX5. It's 140 kilowatt hours. It's a massive battery. BMW just went nuts on increasing battery size in order to get the range to 800 kilometers, which it says is where people don't have anxiety. But under the skin, the X5 does not sit on the new Neue Klasse platform. It sits on an enhanced version of the cluster architecture platform from the old car, albeit with some of the super brain computing power of the Neue Klasse and an 800-volt electrical architecture sort of bolted on to the old car's bones. We'll see how all of that works when we drive it. But what I can tell you is here in the back, the room on offer is good for adults. I'm 6 foot or 183 centimeters, and I've got plenty of headroom, even with the sunroof. And the good news is that this sunroof actually still opens. Quite rare these days for really any new car to retain its opening sunroof, but the X5 has done so. Legroom is also good, sitting behind my own driving position. Tow room, there's plenty of it. And I like the fact that we're sitting in an EV here. This is the fully electric version, but it feels completely like we're sitting in a regular car. There's no issue with leg support or foot room, so that battery hasn't driven up the occupant space like it does in so many of this car's rivals. We've got some really nice comfort features like cushioning here on the center armrest and behind me, a little bit X7-like here. Although the materials on the doors, while they are soft, it's not sort of uber high-end luxury like you would get in a 7 Series. And things like manual sun blinds are included, which is nice. Plus Bowers & Wilkins audio throughout the car. Things like the modular attachments here, so you can put a tablet of your own with USB-C charging as well. Nice Alcantara headliner is available for this car. Plus you can again get the X5 with quad zone climate and seating here in the back with your own screen down here to operate it. And I love the fact that the rear wireless charger also has the magnetic attachment so your phone stays in place. Now with the second row out of the way, there's no third row to show you. Even though the old X5 could be optioned with a third row, that's been deleted now because of packaging concerns. Moving around the back, there's a few things to point out. Firstly, as I mentioned, this particular car that we're looking at today is the iX5, the electric in 60 dual motor trim, but all X5s, no matter if they're electric, petrol, diesel, plug-in hybrid, or hydrogen, will look exactly like this car. This particular one has the M Sport package, so more gloss elements around the car. There will be a base variant, which basically replaces the old X line, and that has unpainted plastic cladding. However, I have bad news to share, which is that a cult hit feature of the X5 has been lost in 5th generation form. The split tailgate is no more. I really liked that feature of the X5. Unfortunately, it couldn't be kept, and BMW product planners told me it was out of weight concerns. There were 2 gears in the split tailgate which added weight. This iX5 is 2,890 kilos. What's another 10 kilos? But anyway, it's gone. Opening up the new one-piece tailgate, it's silent, gets out of the way quickly, and reveals a boot which is slightly larger than the old X5. The car as a whole is about 7 centimeters longer on a 6 centimeter longer wheelbase. More boot space, more rear seat legroom. There's a bit of storage available underneath the boot floor, supplemented by a small frunk in the electric version of the car. Big parcel shelf, 40-20-40 folding seats. An electrically deployable tow bar is available as an option on this car as well. So, what are my first impressions of the new 5th generation BMW X5? Well, this is a critical car for BMW to get right. The realities of selling new cars in so many markets around the world is that the emissions of the X5 needed to go south. That's why we now have fully electric variants like this iX5, and also why BMW have added enhanced plug-in hybrids to the X5 lineup. But never fear, you can still buy petrol and diesel versions of this car, and even a hydrogen option is coming if you're interested in that kind of technology. In terms of cosmetics, that's subjective. It's not my decision to tell you what I think looks good or bad, but my personal opinion is that I quite like the front end of this car. I even kind of like the cues with the X-shaped daytime running lights in this vehicle. As for the monolithic side profile though, I think that might take me a little bit longer to get used to. But the interior for me is in part a step forward. It's a comfortable and stylish place to be, and it integrates a few pieces of technology which I think actually do enhance the experience of the X5, especially the panoramic vision display, which is genuinely cool and feels very new. Looking forward to driving this car though, because a real strength of the BMW X5 has always been that it's been much more interesting to drive than its rivals. Will that still hold true when the weight is over 3 tons once the driver and some cargo is on board? We'll find out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to see that first drive review soon. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching Chasing Cars.